What's going on, guys? Rob with 3STRONG. Today I'm going to teach you how to do a bent over row. A lot of my videos have gone over how to push, but there hasn't been anything where we work the back side of our body. And the bent over row is just one in a ton of different back focused movements. But this one is actually really accessible because if you don't have a TRX or you can't do a pull-up and you don't have resistance bands, it's kind of tough to get in that back work any other way. And doing a bent over row with a dumbbell is a great way to do that. And if you have access to a dumbbell, I'm sure you've tried some bent over rows, but there are some key things that you need to know so you can get the most out of it. And so let me first talk about the setup. Since we are trying to pull the weight towards us, like I said, we're going to work the back side of the body, and there are a variety of ways we can pull that weight towards us. But when we're doing a bent over row and we're working with gravity and we're pulling that weight up, we want to make sure that we're actually pulling at the right angle. So if I have a weight in my hand, and granted gravity is going to pull that weight down, if I just pull up, notice how I really have to shrug to pull that weight up. That's going to start to work the upper back. If I angle down a little bit more, now I'm getting more of a horizontal pull. I'm literally pulling it straight towards my body. This is the setup that we want when we're doing bent over rows. Free weight bent over rows. You want to get yourself in this position that allows your back to get as close to parallel with the ground as possible, or else we get into something that starts looking like shrugs. So getting yourself into this position, this bent over position, is really going to force a stretch in the hamstrings. And if you're not incredibly flexible, having a more bent knee position is going to allow you to do that. And notice how this position is very close to the bottom of our deadlift. That's what we want. So the back is going to remain flat. Everything is going to be locked in all the way around your torso. You're definitely going to feel the glutes and the hamstrings stabilize. And then from this position, we can allow ourselves, we can get ourselves into that good bent over row position. And we're really just holding that there. The reason why I like that one, I like that version, a kind of freestanding bent over row position, is that when we get our knee on a bench or we support ourselves a little bit too much, now we're kind of taking out extra work that can be done on the legs, the back, the glutes, all that stuff. And so we take a basic upper body movement, so to speak, and now we create a little bit more of a challenge on the lower body. Since I'm doing a single arm variation, if this position here with the feet about shoulder width apart is difficult to get into, and that's challenging the hamstrings a little bit more, let me show you a variation. You can get into kind of this lunge position, which is going to take some of the stress off the hamstrings. And then what this does is this actually allows you to get your hand and brace yourself if kind of the rotational stability is an issue. Then you grab that weight, get in that lunge, and then you're pulling that straight off the ground. The actual arm motion, let's talk about that. Much like any other upper body movement, we want to get the shoulder blades locked into place, pulled back and down, so that when we pull, that shoulder blade is staying back and letting the arm do the work. If we really get too much movement here, things become a little bit unstable. Or if we let that shoulder blade round and we just do this. Remember, this is the position we're trying to get out of. When you do your bent over row, pull everything back, keep it tight, and drive that elbow straight back. So let's try that again. Better position, either with the feet about shoulder width apart and even keeping that back as close to parallel with the ground as possible, or getting into that lunge position and then getting that shoulder blade back and driving the elbow up. Don't get into this position here with the shoulder rounded. Remember, we're trying to get out of that bad posture, so pulling those shoulder blades back, all that stuff is great. That is your single arm bent over row right there with a little dumbbell. Again, all you need is minimal equipment and good technique. See you guys tomorrow.